start with special thanks to His Eminence, Wilton Cardinal Gregory, to His Eminence, Donald Cardinal Worrell, and to Monsignor Rosie for opening up the shrine for this funeral mass. Thank you. I'd also like to thank my brother priests, the choir, and all the altar boys. I'd like to thank all of you for being here. It means a lot, just that you're here. Last Tuesday, May 21st, on the feast of Mary, Mother of the Church, the world seemed to stop. Time stopped. There was shock, heartbreak, lots of deep pain, and lots of tears. It has been a very hard 2 weeks, especially for Alan Florencia and for their family. But I think it's been hard for everyone in this church. That's why we're here. We need healing. And who better to heal us than our Blessed Mother? We're in her house. Florencia called me a few times during this past few weeks. And she said she couldn't fathom getting through this without her faith. Both Alan and Florencia have written and stated that their beloved daughter, Rosie, was on loan from God. I heard Florencia say, God has given me Rosie. God has taken her away. Blessed be God. We know and we believe, without any doubt, that Rosie is back with God in heaven. But we also know that Alan Florencia's hearts are broken, crushed. They have suffered so much, and this will always hurt. But because their hearts are broken, their hearts are also open. Hearts that are broken are more compassionate hearts. Hearts that are broken are stronger hearts. Hearts that are broken are more understanding hearts. Hearts that are broken are more empathetic hearts. What a gift to all of us to have access to these beautiful hearts. It's a painful gift, but it's still a gift. Christ's love wanted to work through them in an even more powerful way. And that's a mystery. Pope Francis recently issued a bull announcing the Jubilee year of 2025, entitled, Hope Does Not Disappoint. What a beautiful title. Hope does not disappoint. We are here in Mary's house, in this beautiful shrine. We can learn so much from our Blessed Mother about how she endured her cross, her pain. And Pope Francis brings this up near the end of the document. He says, in the Blessed Virgin, we see that hope is not naive optimism, but a gift of grace amid the realities of life. At the foot of the cross, she witnessed the passion and death of Jesus, her innocent son. Overwhelmed with grief, she nonetheless renewed her fiat, never abandoning her hope and trust in God. We pray today that Mary will intercede for all of us, so we too can never abandon our hope and trust in God and in His loving plan, which, if we're following Christ, is going to hurt. We're in front of a mystery. We're not supposed to understand this. It's a mystery of God's love. Jesus said in the gospel, "Let the children come to me. Do not prevent them." Rosie came to Jesus. There's a lot of questions that only God can answer. I went to McLean Family Restaurant that many of you frequent. I think the people in McLean here are familiar with that spot. And I love going back to the kitchen and talking to the cooks. They're from Latin America, South America, and the head cook is from Mexico. And the day after this happened, I went to McLean Family Restaurant because I had a breakfast with a gentleman. And I went back to the cooks, and they asked me, "How are you doing, Father?" I said, "Not so good." And I told him what happened. And his immediate response, I'll say it in Spanish and then in English because I know we have Spanish speaking. He said, "Padrecito, esta niña ya está con Dios. Esto lo sabemos por la fe. Pero los papás sí van a sufrir mucho." This very humble man, without even hesitating, said, "Father, this little girl is with God. We know that by faith. But her parents are going to suffer very much." Jesus gave us the gift of Rosie, this beautiful rose from his garden. Maybe one of the most beautiful roses any of us have seen. And suddenly, Jesus called Rosie back. This is a mystery, but it's a mystery of love. I have a poem I'd like to finish with entitled Sometime by Rosalie Smith. I found this poem in a little book that someone gave me from the Venerable, at the time, Venerable Saint Therese of Lisieux. I think she's involved in all this. She sends roses from heaven. I think she's sending roses right now to all of us. This is a poem that was in that book, and it was written in 1932. And it's the closest poem I can find that for me resonates when death hurts. It's entitled Sometime. Sometime, when all life's lessons have been learned, and sun and stars forevermore have set, the things which our weak judgment here has spurned, the things for which we grieved with lashes wet, will flash before us out of life's dark night, as stars shine most in deeper tints of blue. And we shall see how all God's plans were right, and how what seemed reproof was love most true. And if sometime, commingled with life's wine, we find the wormwood and rebel and shrink, be sure a wiser hand than yours or mine pours out this potion for our lips to drink. And if some friend is lying low, where human kisses cannot reach his face, oh, do not blame the loving Father so, but bear your sorrow with obedient grace. And you shall shortly know that length and breath is not the sweetest gift God sends his friend, and that sometimes the sable pall of death conceals the fairest boon his love can send. If we could push ajar the gates of life and stand within and all God's working see, we can interpret all this doubt and strife, and for each mystery could find a key. But not today, not today. Then be content, poor heart. God's plan, like lilies, pure and white, unfold. We must not tear the close-shut leaves apart. Time will reveal the calyxes of gold, and if through patient toil we reach the land, where tired feet with sandals loose may rest, when we shall clearly know and understand, I think that we shall all say that God knew best.